To play, there's no angels where I go. Only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. Now, hopefully I can get this right. So, this video is going to take a lot longer to actually get out, because I want to try and do it as a one-shot. So a very long video. If I'm lucky, I'll only need to do 2 parts of this, if I can make it long enough. Now, let us begin. Also, if my voice is distorted right now, then that means that I'm able to use the new app I have. Someone recommended it to me, and I will be trying to edit my videos a bit more and a bit better, so that I can at least get something down whenever I do want to do this certain what if. Because if I can nail it, then the what if will be perfect, the way I had it planned. Now, with that being said, let me cut this real quick to see if I can do this properly. Alrighty, that works perfectly. Now, let us begin. This world is different. As everyone knows, I like to do my what ifs. This one is tricky. Deku's dad's a scientist, and he is actually working for a high-class tech company. This tech company is very, well, good and new, since it has just gotten off the ground after a new contract was laid out and actually planned. The contract stated that it will be a joint, operation between 2 different companies, along with them putting their funding into it and actually taking the risk of it either succeeding or failing, since it will help revolutionize tech throughout the world. Deku's dad would not have to go overseas, and his quirk is different, along with Inko's. Inko's quirk, she is able to see technology. She's actually able to look at it and actually see it, as if it were just visible. Even whenever she cannot see technology, she can clearly see exactly where it is, in any given room. Now, Deku, however, he will have a mixture of both of their quirks, since his dad's technology is able to allow him to code anything that he has access to. This being the key detail. Access meaning that anything he touches, he can directly hack into it, and or add code to it, to help improve it. Now, Deku, he will be born with a mixture of both their quirks. Now, with that happening, Deku, he will be diagnosed as quirkless at birth, thinking that he'll just manifest it whenever he's older. Now, this Deku, he is going to be very different. This is not a hero story, nor a villain story. If anything, you can classify it as an anti-villain or an anti-hero, since Deku will be a hero to himself. Let's continue. I do not know if anyone's done anything like this for a Watch Dogs What If, so if anyone has, I'm not trying to copy them, first off. So let's get into the story. Deku, he is 4 years old, and he is learning that his quirk is supposed to be manifesting, but he's not sure exactly what is supposed to happen. He knows about his dad's quirk because it's been able to actually give him somewhat of a high life. He would go to a different school along with him not knowing Bakugo. Deku, he would know other people, however. People like Momo, Todoroki, and possibly even... I was going to say Melissa Shield, but that would not be the case. Now, with that, Deku's dad, he is working on a sensitive project. Deku actually able to see it, which his dad would have been a bit more concerned about. If Deku is supposed to get a quirk like his, he doesn't want him to mess up hours of coding on one simple machine. so he would have been very careful letting Deku see it. Deku would awaken his quirk, as he would see exactly what this technology is. He would just be looking at it as he would just tap onto it, telling his dad that this looks cool, but why? As he starts looking around, looking up, looking down, to his left, to his right, asking why can he see all these things? To which his dad would have been confused. As soon as he watches Deku bring his hand outwards, he would see that he touches onto the TV and it immediately just turns on. As he nearly falls out of his chair, he just watched his son awaken his own quirk. Now, after that happens, he would tell Inko and they would immediately rush off to the quirk doctor, diagnosing his quirk as a form of technopath. But it seems that it directly affects anything he has access to. So, your son will be quite a marvel of engineering. He will be possibly even a better researcher or engineer if he goes down your path, Asashi. To which he would be ecstatic and excited to hear that. If he's going to follow in his footsteps, then that means that, well, it's good, right? Deku saying that he just wants to be a hero. But he can at least try learning about these things. If it helps him, then he'll just have to work on becoming physically stronger. He won't fall behind. Hasashi, he would be somewhat proud of his son. He can at least be somewhat of a textile hero, but his quirk might actually be a bit more dangerous than he thinks about it, since he sees Inko and Deku constantly just looking around at different things. As he would finally ask the question, can he see everything like you do? To which she would just say it seems so. This has always been a weird quirk, but it at least allows her to help with city planning. Now, eventually, Deku's dad would leave for work, as he leaves in a company car, which is automated, so it will not need human interaction. But that is just the case. Whenever Deku's dad was leaving town for his job, there was a bit of an accident, or a AI corruption as you can call it. All the official reports said were that Deku's dad, Hasashi, died in a car accident, possibly from human interaction, and or even failure of standardized law, meaning that the accident could have been caused on purpose. The only other reason being that the car was attacked, or the AI simply failed. The company reassuring that their AI is perfectly fine. This was clearly messed with, so there should be no reason for them to be held accountable. But they would still pay a large sum of money to Inko and Deku, as Inko is somewhat heartbroken. Now, eventually the company, they would send someone out to get Hasashi's work, since this secret project he was working on seems to have been very, very high tech, and even high class, since there are actually military officials at their house. Now, Deku, he would have seen them taking out a lot of these things, as whenever he does see one of the papers fall into the ground, he immediately just picks it up, handing it over to the man, as he stares at the blueprint for a second, a bit more confused. The man would have seen this look on Deku's face, as he would immediately just snatch the paper out of his hand, saying that he shouldn't be looking at that. The man walking out. Now, as that happens, Deku, he somewhat is crying and, well, a bit more sad. His father has just died, so that is not good, as he is watching a video of the number one hero, thinking that he needs to help his dad. he needs to find a way to stop whatever happens. He knows that those AIs don't crash because his dad made it. So exactly how did this happen? As the video would end, Deku bringing his hand up and tapping on the screen with his finger as it restarts. But as that happens, one simple thing occurs. The screen would turn black, and a picture would appear.
My, you really do look exactly like your dad.
What do you mean? I'm his son, Midoriya. Of course I look like my dad.
Well, kid, sorry to tell you this. Your dad was killed. He's gone. I'm sorry, but I need to make this fast. I know you're still mourning, but your dad, he was, well, not doing anything good. Your dad was an honorable man, I will give him that. He tried to stop and actually take away the power this organization had. Whoever he worked for some very bad people. Now, get out of that house before it blows up. They are going to kill you and your mother.
Now, Deku, hearing this, would immediately be in shock, as the voice tells him to leave now. Deku getting up and immediately running over. He runs to the door as he would open it up to see his mom. She is sitting on the couch and actually being a bit more calm than he thought, as the screen in the front room would change.
Miss Midoriya, please leave the household now. It is about to explode. This is not a threat, nor is it a promise, but it is a mere warning. You are in a lot of danger. Your husband's project that he's been working on, he has had a change of heart. The company he's been making it for, they thought he was too dangerous to be left alive. So they killed him. They are now after both of you. Now please, run.
Now, Inko, she would immediately stand up and begin to freak out. She can see the code on screen. Seeing it at the base level. She can see him hacking into it, but she's a bit more confused. Her immediately grabbing Deku and going to run out the house. As the building, her house explodes, sending her flying with Deku. She is holding him tight, as she gets hit by some rubble, and sent flying. Deku in her arms. As soon as that happens, she would go smashing into a wall as she would have broken her back. And Deku is underneath her. She was able to protect him, but Deku does have some cuts and some bruises on him, as there is a loud buzzing sound. Now, Deku, he's not sure what to do. He tries to crawl out from underneath Inko, as this buzzing is getting louder and louder and louder. Deku actually reaching down and pulling out her phone, as he just stares at it for seconds, feeling like the world just somewhat changed, as a van would come speeding down the street. Inko is still conscious, however, as she tells Deku that he needs to get out of here and run. If what that man said is true, then you need to get out of here, sweetie. Just run.
Kid, what exactly did I tell you? I told you to get out of here. Now listen to me. You need to run. Do it.
But my mom. Kid, if you don't run, you are going to die. As Deku just takes off with tears in his eyes. This van stopping to pick up Inko, as they were a bit more careful with her. As that's happening, Deku is running down the street with his phone. The screen is cracked, and he can clearly tell that there's damage, along with him actually bleeding quite a bit, as he continues running down the street, watching as Deku turns around to see this van, it is heading directly for him. But while that's happening, there is a strange sound Deku hears along the airways, as it sounds loud enough to pierce his eardrums, as the ground explodes in front of the van. The voice on the phone saying that he bought him time. Now, take a left. Deku listening to these orders. The voice instructing Deku further and further through the city. People actually staring at this child for a minute, thinking that he's just running home. No one really paid attention to him, since, well, this is a very, very busy area. There are more important things to pay attention to. But some heroes would be seeing this. Deku eventually being stopped by them and taken in, as the phone screen would go from this symbol, oh, no, wrong one, this symbol, back to a blank screen. Deku just looking down at it. The heroes taking him in, finding that he was in an accident. Apparently, from what they see, there was a gas leak, and his house exploded. His mom was not recovered and or found, but that will be perfectly fine. They will set Deku up in an orphanage and get things properly set up for him, as someone would try to take this phone away from Deku. Deku basically immediately crying as he would just bring his hands upwards, showing that he's not letting go of this thing. It is the most important thing to him right now. It has memories on it, pictures of his mother, his father, and even him. With that being said, this is where they would just accept this, calming him down and letting him keep the phone. With that happening, Deku, he's set up in an orphanage, as numerous times there are strange people coming by to adopt Deku, or at least try and see the boy. Deku usually hiding whenever they come by, which is whenever the orphanage would promptly try and explain to them that the boy is not here. After this happened too many times, they had to set Deku up underneath a fake name, because these people, they are clearly after the boy. They would have sent him to a different orphanage, along with putting Deku's name throughout, well, somewhere in America. Basically setting up a false cover for him, which would send these people away from him. He takes on this fake name, however, as he is sitting down outside, staring at the phone screen. It has not turned back on, nor has it done that weird thing. So exactly what's going on? As he's just staring down at it. Finally, using his quirk properly, unlocking it without even thinking about it, the phone would unlock and show the code. Deku being in complete awe and shock about it. This is completely different from what he's ever thought. This isn't... What the hell? Deku basically reading this as if he's reading English. He sees exactly what everything can do. He sees exactly what all of this does. It's insane, it's impressive, it's unprecedented. As the screen would turn black, and the symbol would appear once more. Deku being in complete shock as he just asked one more question. Who are you? Why did you help me? Why is all this happening? Can you please just explain everything to me? This doesn't make sense. Why are people after me? Why are people after my mom? Why are they after my dad? Deku just keep rambling over and over and over again, which would have annoyed this voice, as one thing would happen.
Kid, slow down. Listen, I will explain everything you want to know. But for now, I will give you an explanation. What your father's been doing is illegal. Your father has been working on a project with the government to access information. Things they shouldn't be able to see or even hear. They want to make sure no villains can ever do what they do ever again. Now, this may sound good and the intentions are there, but it involves being in every single person's pockets, allowing them to arrest people for crimes they may not even commit. Yes, everyone has bad thoughts, bad days, but that does not mean you can just arrest someone and throw them in prison, just for what they want or think they can do. Now, I understand this is, well, new to you, but your quirk, it's perfect for this. You will be the best one of us. Now, I'm coming by to get you tomorrow. I'm aware they put you underneath a fake name, but this is something you need to know. I will train you and help you get better. But we'll scrub evidence of you ever existing. Your name, your quirk, and who you are. You will be a ghost in a world full of people online, everyone everywhere, publicly. But you, no one. Not even a camera will be able to see your face when we're done.
But what about my mom? Where does she go? Well, kid, your mom is most likely dead. I am sorry. I understand that you have just lost your father. But do know, they would have probably used her to get to you. Try and lure you out of cover. If you survive, they're going to think that you're out on the streets somewhere, or in America. But that is not the case. Now, I am a close friend of your dad's. He trusted me with some information. And this is what led me to you. He left instructions on what to do in case this ever happened. So he was at least prepared. Now, I must leave. But do understand, I am an ally. As the screen would go black, Deku just staring down at it, as his eyes fill with tears. As he just looks up to see one of the, women who run the orphanage. She's just waiting for Deku to come by. She's at the door, watching all the other children. Seeing that Deku has walked back over and walked inside, heading toward his room. Now then, with that, I'm going to be leaving this part off of here, guys, because holy shit. The amount of editing required for me to do all this voice stuff has been a lot. A lot of editing, more than I'm used to. Even more than I've had to do for some of those 2-hour videos I usually do. Which is saying quite a lot. But hey, I do hope you guys at least enjoy the effort and the video. So, again, sorry for not posting, I've just been trying to get used to this. And I hope you enjoyed.